Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now, what if you have a great looking vehicle, but you want to make it look even better? Well, how about a body kit from Adro? These are pretty amazing. Now, Sarah, the Corvette C8, for example, this is the body kit for that. It's a great looking car, but you put this on and it just blows folks away. Before we get to the specifics though, tell me about Adro.
So ADRO stands for Aerodynamic Development Race Optimization, and as you can see from the parts that we have in front of us, as well as our name, we produce aero body kits.
And how long has the company been around?
So we've been around since 2020, and we're headquartered in South Korea, where we actually engineer and manufacture all of our products, but our design team is actually based in California.
What's the primary emphasis for the folks designing these kits?
Well, I would say our design philosophy is really to improve the OEM design style rather than completely change it. And I think that really stems from our chief designer's background. He has been in the OEM design industry for over a decade. He's worked at Mercedes-Benz, Hyundai, and Rivian, and he's actually the man behind the Mercedes-Benz Maybach concept car, the Vision 6.
Wow, great.
So again, we want to develop the car's personality more than completely change what it is.
Let's talk about the Corvette in particular. What's the material?
So it's made out of prepreg, which is just a different name for dry carbon fiber, and it results in this very light and durable product because of its different manufacturing process. Basically, the resin is already pre-impregnated within the carbon fiber.
How light are we talking?
Well, why don't we lift it up? So if you feel this, it's just really
Oh my
light.
goodness.
Yeah, a lot lighter
Yeah.
than even wet carbon fiber.
And there were some boxes, you know, when this all shipped in, and
Exactly.
we were all deceived. These giant boxes, and they weighed nothing. So that's pretty amazing. And the elements look great here. I like the fins there on the outside as well. They look very cool.
This is the front lip, and it's obviously divided into two parts, one on the driver's side and the passengers. And we have this sporty wing that really adds the aggressive look and feel to the front of the C8. And that actually extends to the side skirts.
And I love it. You know, the Stingray, the shark is kind of the feel of a Corvette, and this really captures it. It's very cool. And I want to talk to Abe here about the rear diffuser. This is a pretty complicated piece.
It is. So you can see the quad fins, Dave, right? And it gives it that aggressive look. It comes with the honeycomb mesh grille. And these two holes that you're seeing here is for the rear parking sensor. So they're pre-drilled. It bolts right on. You're not going to have to drill into the body, but the under panel you do.
So you're not going to see any visible marks, and it's all underneath.
That is correct.
Cool. Now you have this complicated diffuser here on the Corvette. Now let's look over at the BMW the M4 kit.
So this is the F82 BMW M4 kit. As you can see, we have the fins right here that ties in with the side skirts. With our Adro products, you'll see our stamp of approval right there.
Got it.
Now, similar to the C8, we have our tabs right here, and they line up with the OEM bumper perfectly. So yes, design is one thing, but proper fitment is what we absolutely take pride on at Adro.
And I think also paying tribute to the original vehicle and accentuating what's already there.
That is correct. Not taking it away, but really highlighting the design elements of the M4.
Excellent. The fins carry onto the side plates as well.
That is correct. And one thing we pride ourselves in is tying in each piece from the rear to the side to the front. So when our design philosophy is really looking at the whole car, not just individual pieces, although they are sold individually.
Now let's talk about this kit then. It's your most popular one.
It is. It is our most popular selling item. This is a version 2 spoiler for the Hyundai Veloster N. It's a very aggressive design. The Veloster community has supported us tremendously, and you can see a lot of Hyundai Velosters repping our wing.
Excellent, and those folks love the aftermarket stuff, and this is the best of the best here.
That is correct.
I looked on the website, and Adro makes 15 or 20 different models.
That is correct. We have 15 models, and we are designing about 2 to 3 products per month. So we have a lot of new products in the pipeline coming up.
And I was just going to ask, what's next?
What's next is the Tesla Model 3 and the Model Y pre-preg carbon fiber kit. At this moment right now, we're actually doing a pre-order, and that inventory will be arriving in end of June. Also coming up in the pipeline in Q3 and Q4, we are going to transition to the JDM platform. So we will be coming out with the GR86, the BRZ, and the 400Z from Nissan. Right after the Tesla kit, we are working on a 2018 Mustang carbon fiber program. Right after that, we have a very special project. It's the G82 M4, the brand new M4. This one's the F82. As we all know, the G82 has a highly controversial kidney grill. Our design is going to fix that problem.
And SEMA's coming up in fall of 2022 as well.
So we will be exhibiting at SEMA. We'll be in the North Hall, and you're going to be able to see all of our new products displayed at the SEMA show. So make sure you stop by.
Believe me, folks, when you see this on a vehicle, it's going to take it to a whole new level. You're going to love it. Check them out at adro.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coating, so don't go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by Baxter Performance Oil System Solutions, providing faster oil delivery to your engine.
You are riding along with Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. We get a lot of cool stuff here in the studio, but this is one of the coolest. In fact, everybody on the crew has had a spin on this thing. It's an e-bike from Solfast e-bikes, and this looks different than anything I've ever seen out there, Jim. Why is it different from the other e-bikes I've seen?
Obviously, the design of my frame. This is a very unique style frame we have right here, with the integration of the down tube battery, the oversizedness of the frame, just the sheer boldness of it.
It kind of resembles a BMX bike. How does that tap into your heritage?
Yeah, I raced BMX back in the 70s, did some motocross racing. I've basically been on two wheels my entire life. So I wanted to build an overgrown BMX bike, which I had a really good run with the pedal scene, and then we migrated into the electric segment, which is huge. But a bike like this it's like a rugged bike. I mean, it's designed for the guy that really wants to do some riding.
It's super durable. Let's start with the tires. Those jump out at me. Tell me what you're using here.
Yeah, so we start off with a really wide rim, so we get the big, bold look. We stamp out the rims to save some weight, and then we run a low-profile performance tire. So this works absolutely phenomenal on asphalt, concrete, wet conditions, but if you want to do some trail riding, it's still a good tread pattern for that because we're using a low-profile tire. It's expanded out, so it's low and wide like a sports car. It takes hardly any energy to get it going or to keep it going. So handling, taking off, braking is superb on this.
Let's talk about the motor.
Yeah, so we use the Bafang motor. This is their 750-watt hub motor. Puts out 1,000 watts of peak power. It's super durable, but yet super efficient.
And coupled with the batteries in here, what kind of life am I getting from this thing? How far can I go?
Batteries are the big question out on the market right now. So we use all certified Samsung cells, and this is a 14 amp hour battery. So it's got plenty of power to actually go long distance, but it has a lot of juice for low end hit.
And this is an e-bike, so that means you're getting some power assist. How does that work?
Pretty much any e-bike out on the market has different levels of power assist. So when you turn the power on, it engages into a couple different levels. So level 1 being the lowest level is going to turn on a little bit of energy for the motor, matched with your own pedal power.
How many levels are there?
We can go up to 5 levels, even 9 levels, just depending on how much we want to break it out. So level 5 is going to be full power.
Or you have a little throttle lever.
You have a throttle override, so you can be in level 0, pedal on your own energy, but still have a full throttle override.
Gotcha, very cool. And of course, everyone wants to know, what's the high speed?
These will do sub 30s. They're going to be a class 2 bike out of the box, so they're going to limit it to about 20 miles an hour, but you can go into the display and change some settings so you can get max power.
Let's talk about comfort here. The seat's enormous. It's super cushy.
Yeah, we have a nice sporty saddle. Got some extra support gussets back here that also doubles as a bottle opener. We've got a 3M reflective logo back here. It's just a comfortable saddle. This is the type of bike where you don't need to upgrade the saddle and the grips and the pedals. It's got all the cool stuff already on it.
The light, that's not something you have to buy extra either?
Yeah, it's got an integrated front headlights, a low draw light, but puts out a great beam. We use a push button flashlight right here, so we didn't want to run a wire all the way back here and have a bunch of hokey looking wires out.
This is a really clean look.
Well, that's the nice thing about having the integrated down tube batteries. We actually have a huge channel down here where we put all the wiring harnesses, the brake line, the shifter line. We just have 2 exit holes back here, one for the derailleur and one for the power, and then one for the hydraulic brake line. We're making this bike super simple. Let's say you crash and your display's not working, or it gets wet, or your throttle gets damaged. It's real easy to replace and kind of troubleshoot what's going on.
And let's talk about the gearing here. It's power assist, but you can pedal on your own if you want to.
Yeah, so it's got a Shimano 7-speed derailleur on it. So you've got the low gear and a high gear, just like your regular 10-speed bicycles. The cassette is basically built right into the hub, so it's a pretty maintenance-free system here.
Very cool, and that's all about how it goes. Let's talk about how it stops.
Yeah, braking is a big factor on an e-bike. You got to figure you're going twice as fast, you're moving twice as much, so brakes are a big important system on the bikes. This particular model, we're using the hydraulic brakes.
And suspension. It's a safety issue, it's also a comfort issue.
Well, a suspension fork like this is going to be a typical fork that's going to work well on road verbiage, some curbs. It's not really a competition fork, but it's still nice to have that additional cushioning.
Sort of a hybrid. You can ride it off-road a little bit if you need to, and of course it's made for cruising on the roads or on a path or something.
Yeah, if you're doing some really high-speed riding, you can actually lock the forks out so you don't have any suspension.
What's this thing like to ride? I mean, I've ridden it just a little bit, but let's talk about comfort on this thing.
It's extremely comfortable. I mean, it's a big, large frame. It literally has BMX geometry. It's a great cruiser, but if you really wanted to moto it, that's what it's built for. A typical cruising range, which is going to be level 1, 4th gear, pedaling with the bike, we're going to see well north of 40 to 45 miles of cruising. This is all going to depend on the rider's weight, height, size, road conditions, hills, headwinds, so figure anywhere from 40 to 50 miles of cruising. The display has an automatic voltage meter already built in it, which gives you a live view exactly where that battery's at all times.
And all of it's built on this amazing frame. First of all, I love it because it's the Golf Porsche colors,
right?
Which is super cool. What makes the frame so strong?
Basically, it's going to be the design of it. This is where I specialize at. We've used all hand-picked components on here, but we've got an overbuilt head tube, and this is all hydroformed. My rear subframe here is also hydroformed. I use these big giant dropouts, which are CNC water jets, along with these plates here. So it's structurally super rigid. There's no flex on this frame.
Well, I can tell you, this thing is amazing. We all love it here at Motorhead Garage, and you're going to love it too. Check them out at soulebikes.com. Do not go anywhere because Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is still rolling along.
Dragonfire Tools, quality affordable storage. Proud sponsor of our DragonfireTools.com studio.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. So you have an odor in your car. Well, Shervin's got a solution for us that the professionals can use, but everything right on down to something consumers can do for themselves. Shervin, here we've got the cabin air filter for some small odors, especially like mildew and that sort of thing. This is what you want to replace in your car. How often do I need to do that?
If you live in an area that has high wind and a lot of pollen, check it very often. But a good rule of thumb is always when you're doing your oil change.
So once every 10 years. I'm kidding. Okay, I do it a little more often than that. And then we have some home remedies if you have a stronger odor. If that doesn't work, it doesn't do the job. And this is a favorite of ours here at home, the baking soda.
That's right.
You sprinkle that and it absorbs a lot of odors.
Yeah.
But there's some pitfalls with that too.
That's right. So baking soda is a great home remedy to do. Keep in mind though, the powder is being spread amongst the vehicle, wherever you're putting it. And if there's other odors inside the vehicle, you now have the potential to bring that odor to where that powder is. So if your source was in one original area, and then you put the baking soda everywhere, you now potentially move your odor source around the whole vehicle. And not to mention, it's really difficult to clean up and vacuum.
That I can attest to as well. Here's one that's easier to clean up, but coffee beans are one they say absorbs the odor. They smell good.
Smells great.
But it doesn't really absorb the odor, you tell me?
No, it doesn't. It smells nice, and it's a temporary relief for anybody that has an offensive odor in the vehicle, but it is not a permanent solution.
Okay, if that doesn't work, you at Odors X, Shervin, have a solution for me that I can use as a consumer as well.
That's right, yeah. This is our direct-to-consumer product line that will be released this year. It's a really easy process to do. You place a tablet inside one of our bottles here. This gets placed in the cup holder, and you run it for 15 minutes. It'll get rid of almost all of the odors that are out there.
And some pretty strong ones too. Who's using this?
Yeah, so this is great use for cigarette smoke, cigar smoke, any type of food odors. If you're buying used cars, that's an issue nowadays.
Well, a lot of folks are having to buy used cars because new cars are so expensive, and it's hard to come across one that's odor-free or smoke-free and that sort of thing. So that's something we can do at home.
Yes.
And a lot of dealerships use that, a lot of rental car places do as well.
Correct.
But if none of this works, I've tried this twice, it doesn't work, now what do we do?
The reason why we have this price at the point that we do is so that you have the ability to not have to spend a lot initially. If these don't work, we have the big guns over here. This is our service model where we can actually come out with our technicians and do the work to first identify where the source of the odor is and then to eliminate it. And this is one of the tools that we use. This is our box. It is very heavy duty, but it has to be done by the use of a trained professional.
And where can I find a trained Odors X professional?
We have our website, odorsx.com. We're in 10 states right now.
And more to come.
And more to come.
Excellent. And if you want to become an Odors X service technician, you want to become a partner with Odors X, you can look them up at odorsx.com. Also, if you want to find some of these great products to use in your home, odorsx.com is the place to go. Came all the way to New Hampshire to hang out here in the living room with Joe and a couple of our closest friends. And well, okay, actually it's not the living room. Believe it or not, this is the waiting area here at the headquarters of New Hampshire Oil. This is where folks get to hang out while their car is being worked on. And Joe, this is an amazing customer experience. What can folks expect when they roll in here?
Well, one, we try to make this feel like it is a living room, not a garage. We want them to be comfortable. And then next, what we're going to do is we're going to involve them in the process to the extent that we can. One of the things we're doing now is we're putting cameras in the garage so that they can view the monitor from here and see their vehicles being undercoated. When we started, we had a window from our waiting room into the garage in every one of our shops. Not possible with this shop because the building's out back, but they're always involved. We'll pull the vehicle in, we'll let them inspect it before they leave, if that's what they want, every year.
How important is it for you to give them that kind of experience when they come in?
It's what I would want.
And did you look at other places, other service places, to see what they were doing and to see what you liked and what you didn't like and wanted to adapt it?
No, I just gauged on what I thought was appropriate and what I treat everyone the way we would like to be treated. And we're a family-run business, so it's from John's experience on the phone with my son Anthony to Carol, right down to the technician who looked under his vehicle this morning and discussed options.
And how important is it for you to have this experience then translate to your dealers around the country?
We emphasize this experience and the professionalism and the application being done properly, because honestly, a good product is completely worthless unless it's applied properly. Most of our dealers come in here and train, they're invested. We're also now having dealers ask us, how can we take this to the next level? And franchising might just be the next step for us.
Of course, if you're around Chichester or Manchester, New Hampshire, you can bring your vehicle right here, but you can also check on the web to see if there's a dealer or a franchise near you. NHOilUndercoating.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings and more great products when we come back.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Cab Over America, wireless running lights. Hinkle Corporation, reimagining and improving life every day. Bulldog Adhesion Promoter, save time and money with Bulldog. And by Detail King, your one-stop shop for professional detailing supplies, equipment, and training.
All right, look what I have here. This stuff's as good as gold. The price of gasoline, as you know, keeps going up and up and up, and fuel efficiency, Pasha, is more important. How can Tribotex help me in the fuel efficiency department?
With one simple application, you can save a few percent over 40,000 miles and more. But in some other applications, like when your engine are mostly idle, you can save in tens of the percents. Even 20% we've seen at max at low loaded generations like a genset. You know, when you have a 10 kilowatt generator lighting up few LED lights, most of it is running just overcoming its own friction. You eliminate friction, you eliminate wasteful losses of fuel.
I see police departments, a lot of cars, they're idling a lot, emergency vehicles and that sort of thing.
Or just people sitting in traffic.
Makes a lot of sense on your daily commute. You can save a lot of gas that way. Heat also becomes the enemy of every engine. How does Tribotex dissipate heat?
Yeah, when you tow it, or again, transmission generate heat mostly from friction. Again, less friction, more longevity in transmission, and more energy to tow the cargo.
And you told me an interesting story about the military, why they love Tribotex, because it dissipates the heat. Why is it important to them?
For military, it's important because heat signature in vehicles, that's how enemy would target the car. If you reduce that heat signature, enemy cannot see it, they cannot shoot you.
Pretty amazing stuff. Tribotex is the real deal. You can check out all the technology at tribotex.com. You get some for yourself as well.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
Hey Motorheads, you know, a few weeks ago I told you about things you can get under with the Magic Creeper. Of course, you can work on your car and use it for roadside assistance and all kinds of other uses. Well, this week we're going to talk about things you can get over with the Magic Creeper, because you know a traditional creeper has casters on it. It's about 4 or 5 inches off the ground, so that leaves you no clearance under a vehicle unless you jack it way up. If you have any obstacle, any roots or trees or rocks, there's no way it's going to be able to move across the ground. With the Magic Creeper, you can get over bumpy or cracked garage floors. You know, even you get a little pebble sometimes under your creeper, and it stops you in your tracks, and that can be pretty jarring and really inconvenient. It can waste a lot of time. You can get over grass and roots. Maybe you're literally a shade tree mechanic working on a vehicle out in your yard. The Magic Creeper sails right over roots, sails right over grass. You won't even know it's there. Of course, a traditional creeper, there's no way it's going to roll all over that. Let's talk about mud. The Magic Creeper gets dirty, you do not. It stays on the ground, you roll across the Magic Creeper. When you're done, just pick up the Magic Creeper, you use your favorite cleaning solution, and it'll clean right up, hang it to dry, and you're good to go. The Magic Creeper is famous for being able to roll over tools. Maybe you drop a wrench or a screwdriver, something like that. Don't worry about it. It's not like your creeper's gonna get hung up on it. The Magic Creeper sails right over those. Don't even notice that they are there either. So whether you're using it to get over stuff or under stuff, the Magic Creeper is going to be your best friend. And oh, by the way, one of my favorite uses as a kneeling pad. Instead of wearing knee pads to do a construction project or something around the house, just put the Magic Creeper down. You can kick it around and just kneel on it whenever you need to. Your knees are going to be really glad you did it. Find the Magic Creeper at magiccreeper.com, except no substitutes. By the way, you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings next week, because we're going to do the same thing, bring you more cool products and more cool stuff for your vehicle. It's like taking a trip to SEMA every single week. So for our entire crew here at Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, we'll see you next time. So long.